Vanessa, thank you. Sydney's home of sport, SEN 1170 breakfast with Vossy and Brandy. We are powered by Kubota, Andrew.
Oh, breaking the salary cap this last half hour, folks. Let's, without any delay, let's go straight to an immortal. The Australian Rugby League coach Mal Meninga has been good enough to join us this morning ahead of the Kangaroos taking on the Kiwis. You do all remember what happened last time they played. Mal certainly does. Mal, welcome to breakfast with Vossy and Brandy.
Oh, g'day, Vossy. How you going, Brandy? How are you?
Hey, Mal. Going good? How's things? How's things, and what's the program from now until game time?
Things are great. We're in good shape. No injuries. Looking forward to going to New Zealand. We train one more session over here. Bit of recovery, bit of weights, and then we head on a plane to Christchurch this afternoon. So we arrived there sort of the wee hours of the morning, Wednesday morning, and then obviously get into our New Zealand prep. So it's been good, mate. Short preparation last week. The players have been excellent. Taking a lot of ownership over the way we want to do things, and looking forward to the rest of the series.
Mal, a lot of errors in that first game, and do you put that down to the short preparation and the fact that you've got Tommy Dearden and Mitch Moses playing his first game for quite some time, and it's their new combinations?
Yeah, absolutely. 6-day preparation, Brandy. 2 real sessions, really. We had to sort of, we're bringing teams together. It's, you got to get the mindset right first, obviously, off the back of what happened last year. So we got that out of the road really, really early. We talked about what we were as a team. That's really important. Get that mindset happening even before you start to, talk about footy. So Mitch had he hasn't played for a while, and obviously had, great celebration last week. The birth of his baby as well. So he took off sort of mid camp. So we had a lot of things that we had to get through in those 6-day period. But really happy with attitude, really happy with the intent, and obviously, the thing that we really concentrated on was our defence, and we can move forward now. We've got a 10-day prep leading to the New Zealand game, so that's obviously going to be a focus for us around the way we play with the football in attack.
Yeah, just an aside, that's right, Mal. You mentioned Mitchell Moses, a beautiful little baby daughter born last week, but what's not the first one was between prelim final and grand final.
It was
20 seasons ago. So, Mitch, come on, family planning. You've got to work this out a little better.
Yeah, well,
he's
able to handle it. See, that's the thing after the first one, So
yes.
So he had a great week, Mitch, and you can't knock him from, obviously it's, family first here, and it's very important that he was home with his wife.
All right, Mal, now we are going to try and pin you here. Brandy and I are coming at you full probe, okay?
Teamless Tuesday.
The squad is 21 players. Are you able to say, does everyone in the squad get a start before a potential final? As in, the players who didn't play week 1, will they be part of the squad for week 2?
Well, we can't change our spine. That's the important part. And we were clunky, So obviously we've got to give consideration to cohesion. We've got to make sure that the team's ready to go. Game 2. So experimenting or bringing new. It's not an experiment, but bringing new players in might be forward danger. So my thoughts at the moment is to keep cohesion going and keep the team together.
Absolutely. After game 1 against Tonga, you just, and the mistakes and just watching the fluency or lack of it with the ball, you thought, well, Mal can't change the side. Well, I mean, you can't change the players that handle the ball the most, the fullback, the halfback, the 5'8", and the hooker, because you need to build up some sort of fluency, don't you, Mal?
Yeah, you do, Brandy. Yeah, so it's and leading into it, but then we play against New Zealand, then we got to bye, so then. It is difficult to manage, mainly because of that, So, new footy team, you've got, 2 games in a row, which is great. That helps with that fluency. Then you got to bye, which makes things a bit difficult. So they got to go away from camp. We can't keep them in camp to continue, building the footy team. As far as cohesion is concerned, and then obviously you got the preparation leading to the final, and we haven't even made the final yet. So that's the other. Flip side to it as well is that we need a good performance on on Sunday, and fluency's a really important part of that, to get a result. So we actually play in the final too. So we're not quite sure what's going to happen, when Tonga play New Zealand as well. So it's a game at a time, isn't it? It's one of those cliches, but we've got to make sure we play really well on Sunday to make the final.
Now, Mal, just further to that, and I'm playing a little bit of journo here, that will mean that unless there is injury, there are very high chance of players in this squad who won't play a game, because it is only a maximum.
Well, 2 games into a final.
Of 3 games. Yeah,
exactly.
And that's it. So there's a real chance that players won't get a game.
There's a real chance of that happening. Yeah. So we've got to make those decisions today, Vossy. So we've talked about it. We haven't settled on anything yet, but obviously, we've got to announce a team this afternoon. But that doesn't mean that's going to be the final team. But I'm thinking, on the back of my mind, and that we probably should, go with the same footy team.
Mm. And you said no injuries, didn't you? So even, and I thought,
Detective Brandy.
Mal, sorry.
Oh, yes.
Well, Vossy did say to me, Brandy.
No, we don't want to be the blame for the injuries. Please, no commentator's curse.
No.
There's plenty of wood around me. I'm touching it. Don't worry.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I can understand that. And although that will be disappointing for a couple of players, it's best for the side that they stay together. You might be able to change the edges, and you might be able to give Bradman Best a go, give Tom a rest, or the Hammer.
Yeah.
But in terms of those players that are going to dictate what happens with the ball, I think they've got to stay on the field. Just on Tommy, and I didn't. Most people wouldn't have thought that Tom was going to play for Australia after sort of battling through the back end of the season. He was fantastic, as was the Hammer. The 2 centres were the best players, Mel.
Yeah, and really pleased from So the Hammer, it's funny, the Hammer, through the week was really, really quiet. Didn't say much, I know he's a little introverted in the way he goes about his life, but you could see that he was switched on. You see he was mentally prepared, obviously off the back of what happened at the back end of last year against the Kiwis. And then Tommy, he was just like he had a skip in his step all week, So both of them had sort of 2 different preparations, but you could tell even through the week that they were ready to go, and they performed. And I was just really pleased, with the way they handled the occasion. As you know, they're both fullbacks for their clubs. But defensively, I thought they were outstanding.
Very good.
Now, while we have you, Mal, you're speaking to a couple of lovers of international football. I might be one of the leading flag bearers worldwide. I've had the real privilege of covering all recent World Cups overseas. I love it. I want more international footy. Mal, you share those thoughts. How are we going to do it? How do we achieve it, Mal? Is this, who has to come together? Because I would think that it has to be the NRL schedulers, it has to be Volandis, it has to be Abdo, it has to be the clubs all at the one table and say, well, this is how the whole picture has to look at. Is that it, Mal?
Oh, I think so. And the broadcasters, I think, Vossy, we all work for broadcasters, so they've got to come to the table and work out what is best for the game itself. So not to take all the money and the finances out of it, but what is the best for our game, and then how do we then promote that? So from obviously media point of view, and how do we get all the clubs on side? I imagine the players would like to play less games. I think I was reading between the lines. I don't know, but 20-team competition, 19 games a year, then to the finals, and all of a sudden you've got what's that? That's 8 less rounds, 8 less weeks. Just in your season straight away. Then all of a sudden you can open up for other opportunities. Around Origin and around international space. Come up with some creative ideas around how do you expose the game to the world. So they've already done that with Vegas, which was a huge success. I can't wait to see in 5 years time when that not experiment, but that concept finishes up and see where we are in the States. So yeah, there's a bit of conversation to have, but I just think if we take the welfare of the players into consideration, I think that's really important, and then have a look at what are the assets of our game, and then then we sort of look at how we can put all those assets and then look after players at the same time to create this great product.
Yeah, because at the moment I think the players are doing, like, it's a massive workload, huge workload, but it's great to see some of the boys put their hands up and are wanting to play for Australia. Mal, appreciate you giving us some time, mate, and looking forward to that team coming out, and thanks for shedding some light on it.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Good talking to you.
Good on you,
Probe
Mal.
over, Mal. Probe is over. Well, I think we got, it was great. He was straight shooting. The answers are there, and that's it. The spine will not change. So lock it in. Edwards, Dearden, Moses, Grant are the starting four. And I almost got the impression it will go close to being the same 17, Brent.
Sounded like it, didn't it? Sounded like it.
So there you go. Mal Meninga right here on Breakfast with Vossy and Brandy are here for Bryden's Lawyers. Of course, Bryden's Lawyers have been long-time supporters of ours, and if you need any legal advice whatsoever, either visit their website or call 1-800-848-848.